Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. If you don't already know, my name is Christy, and this channel is normally all about deconstructing our former evangelical, conservative, and fundamentalist Christian beliefs. But today is different. Today is very, very different. And I don't have a plan for this video at all, but I have some things I'd like to say concerning everything, the political climate, things going on here, and the conversations on YouTube, the back and forth, the divide between so many people right now in this country. I want to make it clear that this is not a political message. This is not a political video. I may share some opinions, but this is not a political, this is not just about politics. Politics will be involved in this video, but it is not just about politics. And I have things that I will say, that I want to say, that I think will upset you no matter which side of the political spectrum you lie on. Because if there's anything I've learned about being a person with a platform on the internet, it's that I will never be able to please everyone, and that I will always have ideas that people don't like, even my own subscribers, even the people that follow me. And that was made evidently clear a few months back when I posted a video about tolerating bad beliefs, about trying to find middle ground with people you disagree with, reaching across the aisle, trying to understand and empathize, connect, encourage dialogue, encourage critical thinking. I made this video about that and about my thoughts on that, and so many people took issue with it, and a lot of people didn't even watch it. It was not a popular video. So people don't want to talk about uniting. That's not a conversation that anybody wants to have right now. It's just not. But it's a conversation that I want to have. And I'm hoping that if you are just looking for somewhere to sort out these thoughts, to hear someone talk about these things, a place to be grounded, hopeful, optimistic, but realistic, I'm going to try to be that place right now. This is not going to set the tone for future videos. I don't have any intentions to turn this channel into a political channel. I want to maintain with the intentions and goals that I originally set out with this channel. But I have a platform. The content that I make is directly related to and tied to the political climate that we're experiencing right now. And for anyone to think otherwise is just not paying attention. And I know that a lot of people have gotten upset with me lately for sharing any political opinions whatsoever, for sharing who I voted for in a post, for expressing my grief and my feelings for those who are hurting right now because of the results of this election. A lot of people didn't like it. They said, don't share your political opinions. Stick to what you're doing. Don't talk about it. Why don't you let other people stick to the politics, sweetie? And I'm not gonna do that. I'm not here to try to fit within a mold. I've always shown up to this channel authentic and genuine, with authentic intentions, wanting to be myself, wanting to share how I feel, wanting to be honest and real. And I'm going to continue to do that. And it's worked for me so far, so I don't know why I would change, because some people on the internet have decided that I shouldn't be talking about issues that directly impact me and my fellow Americans. With that being said, I feel like something has to be done. And I'm not talking about the results of the election. I'm not talking about something needs to be done about a Trump win or the Republicans. Something needs to be done about what's happening to us as people as a society, as American people, what's happening between us when we're having these conversations, when we're getting online, when we're reading information and sharing information, when we're having discussions about these really hot topic issues, these difficult issues, about things that affect all of us. There's something missing. And I'm not here to propose a solution. I'm not saying I have the answers. I want to talk about it, is all I want to do. I want to share my thoughts and feelings and what I'm seeing, what I'm observing, and what I'm hoping for. And I think that no matter where you lie on the political spectrum, you can agree with me on the core spirit of this video. I really do believe that. Unless you don't believe in unity, love, compassion, empathy, kindness, well-being for all people, no matter who they are. If you don't believe in those core values, we might not agree. But if you do believe in those core values, no matter where you are, no matter who you voted for, no matter how you're feeling right now, I think we can agree. I have been doing this on the internet, fighting with people for years. And I used to be a lot angrier, a lot more reactive. I have been in therapy for years, and it has helped me tremendously. It has helped me with emotional regulation, with recognizing why I do the things that I do, getting curious about me and myself and the things that upset me, and finding ways to work with that, to acknowledge how I feel while also making a positive impact in my own life and growing as a person. And as I have been through therapy and I have worked on myself, I have worked on looking inward and understanding myself and being curious about myself, I have really learned how to extend that to other people. It's a really interesting thing that happens when you go to therapy, because when you go to therapy, you're sitting there with someone and they are emotionally regulating you. They are kind of feeding you back your feelings and helping you regulate them in a really healthy way. So you can process them, you can understand them, and that in the future you can work with your feelings rather than against them. And so by doing that, I've been able to really regulate within, stop shaming myself, stop attacking myself for feeling pain or for messing up or for not being perfect, all kinds of things that we shame ourselves for. And through that process, I have been able to recognize that other people, they deserve that kind of treatment too. That if I can be accepting of my flaws, if I can be compassionate with myself and patient with myself and understand that when I'm lashing out, when I'm acting out of fear, when I'm doing things that are, that are from an emotional place, that there's a reason. If I can be curious about the reason, I can work to kind of regulate that for the future. And that when I see other people and other people are lashing out and other people are in pain and they're angry and they're saying all kinds of terrible things, I can recognize, just like I recognize in myself, I can recognize that they have pain too, that they're lashing out because they have pain. They are scared or they're hurting, they're upset, something is there that they haven't regulated, they haven't worked on and processed, and it's coming out. People don't lash out for no reason. They don't get hateful on the internet about political opinions for no reason, just because they're hateful. They're doing it for a reason. And I really think there's an important thing that we need to be doing when we're having these conversations with one another, and that is understanding, being empathetic, and being very, very curious, not judgmental, about the behaviors, about the beliefs and the opinions and the ideologies. And that's a really hard thing to do. And I'm not saying this because I'm perfect at it. I just this week, I'd say I lashed out at someone, but really all I did was tell them to go away when they were kind of mouthing off on a Facebook post of mine. So I guess it depends on your definition of lashing out, but that was my definition of lashing out. And I wish I hadn't have. I wish I hadn't have reacted and been like, go away, I wish I had been willing to just be calm or just not react at all. But I did. I responded out of emotions because I'm frustrated, I'm hurt, I'm scared. And if I can recognize that in the position that I'm at, I'm hurt, I'm scared, I don't know what's going to happen. That there are threats that I think are real. There are threats that I think are perceived. There are threats I think are possible. There's varying levels of threats. And I'm afraid of those threats. And regardless of if they are real or not, I am afraid because of what I've been through, because of my own personal experience, my own beliefs, what I've been exposed to, what I know about my reality, what I've seen, what I've heard from other people. And that's my dog. I'm train of thought. If I can see that I'm afraid, even no matter if that threat or that fear is real, let's say that what I'm afraid of is not real. The things that I'm afraid of with a Trump presidency, they don't exist. They're perceived threats. I'm still afraid. Telling me that there's no reason to be afraid, everything's gonna be fine. It doesn't change what I know. What I know about how I feel and my reality and the information that I've been given. And recognizing that, I think it helped me understand that when I'm having these conversations with people on the other side, I don't like saying that, but it's on the other side, Republicans, Trump supporters, people who don't vote like I do. When I have these conversations with them, I see that they have a perceived threat. They have fears too. And it does not matter if those fears or those threats are real or if they are manufactured, if it's a real looming threat that could actually affect them, or if they are just getting propaganda. It does not matter because they're still afraid. And being angry at them for being afraid, lashing out at them, calling them names, that will not help someone who is afraid. I have a lot of thoughts. And I have this thing where I say things, I have opinions, and I'm passionate about them, and then I have like a little voice inside my head that's like, wait a minute, but have you thought of this? and I go and I do that. And I think that's a really healthy thing to have, to check yourself constantly. I think it's a part I developed from deconstructing my Christian beliefs, because I was always questioning. So when you have your entire worldview and your reality and everything you know about you and your existence and the people around you and the afterlife and the spirituality, when you have all of that ripped out from under you and you realize that everything that you've been fed is not true, and that reality looks very different than the reality you thought you knew, it makes you a lot more skeptical of everything else. And I think a lot of people think I'm so solid in my opinions on religion, on social issues, on politics, and I'm like water. I really am. I feel passionate about core values that I hold. And I think that of course affects my politics. I believe in love. I believe in kindness. I believe in empathy. I believe in social justice. I believe in helping others who aren't like you. I believe in lifting up the marginalized. These are values that I hold, that I think everybody would like to think that they hold. But my politics, my beliefs about afterlife and God and all of that, it's like water. I get to bend and flow and learn and grow and change my mind and change it back. And it's not about being a hypocrite. It's not about not having integrity, but it's about understanding that our reality is shaped by what we experience. Everybody's experiencing a different reality. We all come from what we know, what we were raised on, the information we have, and we could be wrong about everything. I think the first step is admitting that we could be wrong. That's what deconstruction, that's what my channel is. Okay, I could be wrong. Well, what am I wrong about? What do I believe? Why do I believe it? Who told me this? Where did I get this information from? How can I know the truth? How can I make the right choice? Can I make the right choice? Will I know if it's the right choice? Or do I just have to hope for the best, do the best that I can? These are all things that we have to go through in deconstruction. And I'm starting to realize that we don't just need a deconstruction movement within religious ideologies, within religions, Christianity. We need a deconstruction of everything. Like, everyone needs to be more willing to deconstruct their worldviews. And I think people think that I've stopped, that, oh, you've just deconstructed and I guess you just know it all and you're just set in your ways. And that couldn't be further from the truth, because I feel like I am in a constant, ever evolving process of deconstructing my entire worldview by constantly questioning everything. I question everything. And sometimes I land in a position that I feel confident in, and I stay there for a while, or I stay there forever. Some of my values have never changed. We're humans. We're all just trying to do our best. But there's two things that we're lacking, and I think we've always lacked. This is not a new problem. This is a human problem. Is we're lacking empathy, emotion, that kind of that abstract connection between humans, and critical thinking, logic, reason, rationality. Like, there's these two kind of fighting forces, and we talk about that a lot on this channel, is like acknowledging that, you know, we need to use reason and rationality and critical thinking, but also we have to like trust ourselves and use our intuition and think with our heart, right? There's this weird balance that we have to find between the two. And I think a lot of us fall on one side and we have a hard time kind of blending the two. And that's me. Like, I've done that. I think I fell so hard into this trap of reason, rationality, skepticism, brain, thinking, think about it. And I believe in that. I believe we need that so bad. But I got scared from making these emotional arguments, from making these arguments that come from my heart rather than my brain. I got scared out of doing that because when we have these conversations, people want to be reasonable and rational and logical. You want to be facts-based. But we don't reason with only facts, with only our logic. We use our emotions too. I've been doing a lot of reading on the psychology of belief. Why do people hold beliefs? Why are we divided by our beliefs? I read this great book called How Minds Change by David McCraney. I don't have it right now. I'm just kind of sitting outside, so I don't have a way to look it up. I'll put it on the screen, or I'll put it in the description. That really went over like the psychology of belief, and it was absolutely eye-opening, absolutely fascinating. I'm reading another one right now called I believe it's called The Righteous Mind, like why we're divided by politics and religion. And it talks about this blending of our emotions and our reasoning, our logic, and how we can utilize both of those things to make really good decisions for ourselves and those around us. And I think that that's a key component that we're missing in our conversations with one another, is that we're either just running on emotion and we're mad, or we're sad and we're spewing out things, or we're purely running on logic and not thinking about how we feel and how other people feel. But those two things are very important, and they both need to be balanced together. And I'm not offering all I'm doing is asking you, please, no matter which side you're on, and even if you're not on a side at all and you're apathetic and you just don't care about any of it, please be willing to simmer down, to relax, to breathe, to understand that even if you don't get it, there are perceived threats on the other side, no matter which side you're on. And that the other side is very afraid, and they're only working with the information that they know. And that there's a lot of propaganda. There's a lot of disinformation. There are a lot of people that are intentionally trying to sway mass amounts of people in America one way or the other. There's a lot of manipulation going on, and there's a lot of lack of thinking and feeling. We get on the internet, we see a hot take, and we just soak it in and we let it just seep into our beliefs, and it becomes a core value, and we didn't even really think about it. And I need us to stop doing that. Me too, I'm talking to myself. This is me, I'm looking at myself in the camera right now. I need to do this too. I need to work on this. I need to make sure that I'm not contributing to the divide. And I don't know how to do that yet. I don't know the line. I don't know how far we're allowed to go. When I feel as though one side has been oppressed and the other side has gained power, and it's happened on both sides in different times throughout history, great, I suppose, in its own ways. But those that are being oppressed, if they are being oppressed, should not have the responsibility of being kind to their oppressor and being the bigger man and trying to find middle ground. But unfortunately, throughout history, that's how it's always been. It's just how it's always been. And no matter which side you're on, again, oh, whoa, that was a hummingbird right by my camera. Okay, sorry. Wow, that was amazing. No matter which side you're on, the other side feels as though they have been threatened, they have been oppressed, and they are afraid. If we can acknowledge that, and then we can get to the root of these problems, get curious about why we're afraid, what we're feeling threatened by, it might make it easier for us to navigate these conversations and actually find the truth in the middle, the truth between these extreme ideologies, these extremist takes, this disinformation. Because we all want to know the truth. We all want to vote the right way. We all want what's best for our fellow Americans, and we're not always going to agree, but we can try to better understand one another so that we can move forward and make better decisions for ourselves and one another. And I don't always get it right. And many of us have had divisions with our family members, with friends, with spouses. And there's been a lot of pain and trauma sometimes there. You don't always want to make up with those people, and I'm not telling you to. I'm not. When it comes to families and personal relationships, I can't give you advice on how to mend those. That's tough. That's personal and different. But I'm talking about in our everyday conversations, in the comments on YouTube, in the way we interact with strangers who share different opinions. We need to not be so reactionary. We need to be willing to either just let it go or reach across the line and find ways to connect so that we can rebuild. And I really do believe that. We need a type of compassionate rebellion on both sides. I'm not just saying me. I'm not just saying people that agree with me or vote like me. The other side, if you feel oppressed, if you feel scared of what the people I vote for or the party I might tend to align with, if you are afraid of what they might do, then I encourage you to rebel compassionately with consideration for all of your fellow Americans. And my side too. You can rebel. You can fight back against oppression. You can fight back against those that want to control you, those that want to harm you, those that want to exploit you and take advantage of you. You can fight back, but you can do it in a way that doesn't involve perpetuating the problem. And we will only perpetuate this divide. We will only make it grow bigger if we keep doing the same thing over and over again, which is pointing fingers, calling names, mocking, laughing at one another. This is not me telling you I'm perfect. This is not me telling you I don't contribute to the divide in my own ways. We all do. Everybody does. But can we work on ways to do better in the future and reduce the harm, reduce the divide, close the gap in the divide? Can we find ways to do that? This channel will not be a political channel. This will be, it's getting dark outside, so I probably need to cut this off soon because you're gonna lose me. The quality is getting bad. But I don't know the future of this channel. I don't know where I'm going with this. I don't know when my next video will be. I had a lot of ideas and I've just had a really big kind of shift in my mentality about everything right now. And I want to find ways to actually make a positive impact And it's always what I've wanted. So I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going to shift gears on this channel necessarily. I don't know what's going to happen with this channel. I might keep going. I might keep doing what I'm doing. I don't know. I'm not making any quick decisions. But I want to contribute positively to help all of my fellow Americans. And that includes people I don't agree with. That includes Christians. That includes all of the people that I've been talking about on this channel. We're not the enemy, and I don't want to be the enemy. So I hope you'll join me in trying to find small ways to heal yourself and be compassionate to others. Big ways to heal yourself and small ways to be compassionate to others. That's not too big of an ask, right? So, okay, these thoughts were all over the place. I'm gonna go, but I will see you all soon, and just know that you can disagree all you want in the comments. Do what you want. Do what you do, but be kind. Just consider being kind. That's all I ask. I'll see you soon.